Good morning. Oh, it's early. If you're here with me live, my name is Kelly Thorne-Gore. I'm iBloom's founder, and today I want to talk to you about our iBloom planner verse of the week. So those of you who use the planner, you know that every week up in the top corner, there is a verse of the week. And I love this because there are several ways that you can use this verse. One, you need to memorize this verse, especially this week. And I cannot wait to unpack it for you. I had an amazing time with God this morning, and I was praying over you and praying over this scripture and how God wanted to use it in your life. And I believe you're going to get some valuable nuggets. So I'm so thrilled you're here. If you're here live or you're watching the recording, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell me where you're joining from today. And those of you who are here live, welcome. It is early in the morning. All right, so I want to dive into our scripture. So the scripture today is from Philippians 4:13. And the version in the iBloom planner says, I can do all this through him who gives me strength. Other versions say, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. They mean the same thing, just different takes on it. And so this morning, as I was digging into my Blue Letter Bible app, which I absolutely love, and if you do not have this, go download it because it allows you to look at the scriptures, the words in the original Hebrew and the Greek, and it gives you such a deeper understanding of the context of the scripture. So I'm going to dive into the scripture because I think we all love that verse, right? Most of us, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I cannot tell you how many times I repeat that when I'm at the gym working out. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, I can do this because God's going to give me strength. And I'm able to do it. But this scripture applies to all areas of our life. And so when I was digging into it, I'm going to look at my notes here so I can remember to tell you everything I'm going to tell you. So that I can do, that means that we are strong, that we have power, that we have the ability. And so when you say I can do, I want you to think about the power, the strength, the ability that God has given you. This is from God. It's not something that you can do on your own. It's something we've got to depend on Him to do. And that all things means each, every, any, all, the whole, everyone, everything. So that basically applies to anything that we would face. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And that word strength means to be strong or to receive power. And I love that God used those interchangeably. A lot of those words mean the same thing. And I think it's kind of God's way of saying, okay, I want you to get it here. I have given you power. I have given you strength. You don't have to do this stuff. You don't have to do this life, this business, this hard stuff, or even the easy stuff on your own. Because I am giving you power. I'm giving you strength. That you don't have to do this on your own. But I will give you the ability to do all things, to tackle any problem, any challenge that you face. And so, girls, let's just decide we're not going to do this stuff on our own anymore. We are going to rely on God to give us strength and to give us power and ability to do whatever it is that we face this week. All right, a couple of takeaways. So the first is, don't try to do it on your own. Depend on God's power. Depend fully on the strength that He is giving you. The second one, spend time with God every day. Allowing Him to build you up, to give you that strength, to give you that power. Because the reality is, you have the power from God. But sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, but I don't feel very powerful. And it's in my time with God every day that He begins to strengthen me, that I feel that power. And so if you're missing out on that time with God every day, you might not be feeling very powerful because we tend to try to do things in our own ability. And yet God doesn't want us to do it in our own ability. He wants us to depend fully on Him. I would also encourage you to memorize this verse. If you haven't yet memorized it, memorize it. I'm telling you, I think I say it multiple times every day. I just whisper it in my mind. I'm constantly meditating on this verse. Anytime I feel inadequate, anytime that I'm stepped up against a comfort zone, or I don't want to do that, or I don't want to talk to somebody, or it feels outside of me. A lot of you don't know this, but I used to have this horrible fear, petrified of public speaking. You're probably laughing, thinking, okay, wait, I only know you as a speaker. I only know you in this context. But I knew that God had given me a message to say. And so before each speaking engagement, petrified, physically sick, nauseous, often in the bathroom for a long time before I would go to speak, I would repeat this verse over and over and over. And what it did is it forced me to rely on God's strength, to rely on Him working in and through me so that I would just speak the words He gave me. And so for years, I spoke terrified, absolutely terrified. And yet I did it anyway because I knew God had given me a message to share. And so now I don't get nearly as nervous, but I have that reminder that I want to depend on God and I want to speak with that authority through me. So memorize this verse. It has saved me so many times. And I'm telling you, every time I work out, I think I say it about 50 times. Like it's just constantly going through my mind. And it's amazing how when we're reminded of Scripture and God brings it to mind, He brings it to mind when we need it most. In those moments where we don't feel like we can pick up our Bible, in those moments where life is just so incredibly hard, when you have spent time memorizing Scripture, God brings it to mind. In those moments where we feel like we can't do it. And so if you memorize one verse, I would encourage you to memorize this one. Because you can do all things because God is giving you strength in this moment. There's nothing you cannot do. And so if the enemy is telling you some lies, if he's trying to hold you back, you remind him who's in charge. You remind him that God is giving you strength moment by moment to do everything He's called you to do. All right. I hope you have the most incredible week. One thing I want to tell you about is that, and the reason I'm coming to you so early is one, I wanted to start your day with this, start your week with this. But also, I want to let you know that every night this week at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, I'm going to be here live, and I am leading a success mindset challenge. And so there will be a journal that goes along with this, and I'm going to be coming to you every day to give you some little tidbits to create a success mindset. Because I believe the enemy is wreaking havoc on our minds, and we've got to take control of it. We did this series a little over a year ago, and we're going to do it again because it was so powerful. So watch our iBloom Facebook page later today to get access to that journal. It's a free journal, and it'll go along with the videos. And I'll be here live at 8 o'clock Monday through Friday this week, leading you through the Success Mindset Challenge. Talitha said, I wish you did this every morning. All right, Talitha, I'll be live every day this week. You can watch those night videos in the morning if you want. All right. You guys have an awesome week. And remember, you can do all things because Christ is strengthening you. He's making you strong and powerful in His Spirit. All right. Have an awesome week. I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.